Welcome back to the Storm Crow Show, guys. My name is Josh, and today I will be recapping episodes 11 through 14 of RWBY Volume 5, and also giving some of my thoughts of how the season went, what I liked, maybe what I didn't like, some points of interest, and, stuff like that. Brady's unable to join us tonight. He's been pretty busy, so you are stuck with me. However, we are hoping to, in the near future, do an episode together discussing some theories and other things about RWBY going forward as this series continues. In either case, stay tuned for that. I'll quickly recap episodes 11 through 13 as they are on YouTube, and likely you can watch, and you should be able to watch them on YouTube right now. In fact, episode 14 is not yet on YouTube at the time of this recording. It might be by the time I put this video up, however. In either case, there could be spoilers, so you have been warned. So, episodes 11 through 14. Basically, it's 11 through 14 are like one long episode broken up into parts. Episode 11 introduces the fight. The trap is sprung. Our heroes have been trapped by Hazel, by Cinder and her forces. Lionheart's betrayal is revealed, and just how deep of a betrayal it is. Raven's betrayal is revealed, and Crow and the kids, and Oscar, who's also a kid, but Ozpin, are all in danger. The fight breaks out. They're all fighting each other, trying to stop each other to basically, to avoid getting killed. Of course, Cinder's after that relic as well, and some revenge against RWBY. In either case, the episode ends with Cinder impaling Weiss in the back with a spear, and thankfully Weiss does not die, although, honestly, I know there was some tension there. It was pretty scary, but if you stop and think about it, Weiss is one of the main characters of Team RWBY. I mean, if Weiss died, it would no longer be Team RWBY. It would have to be Team, like, RWBY or something like that. I mean, I don't know, or Team Rubbery, or, well, whatever. In either case, episode 12 comes up, and of course, we finally find out that John's semblance is basically enhancing other people's auras, and I think by extension semblances. Weiss heals herself with her aura. John merely enhances it so she heals faster, and I believe he also enhances her so that way she can activate her glyphs and enhance her summoning to include now a Queen Lancer. We also get the big reveal that Hazel, the reason why he has joined Salem, even though he seems to be the most nicest of the bad guys, and I'm not making a joke, he's dangerous, but he doesn't seem like a psychotic person or an evil, conniving person or a coward. He's none of those. He seems very self-confident, and the reason why is that he's bitter against Ozpin because Ozpin is indirectly responsible for Hazel's sister's death. We can go into more discussion about that maybe in a different episode about why this is important, among other things, maybe in the next episode, in fact. But in either case, that's the main motivation for Hazel's joining or siding with Salem. Cinder and Vernal and Raven head down to the vault in order to open it and get the relic. Unsurprisingly, Cinder betrays Raven and Vernal. She encases Raven in ice and then impales, she basically impales Vernal in the stomach with a grim arm that apparently she got, probably as a result of RWBY's fight with her. In other words, Cinder not only lost her left eye, she lost her left arm, and she got a replacement arm, which she can use to deal lots of damage as well as drain energy from her target. Of course, Vernal, spoilers, Vernal is not the Spring Maiden, that is Raven. And that's how episode 12 ends. Going to episode 13, Hazel gets continued. The fight's still happening above in the main auditorium area or main hall of Haven Academy between our heroes and their foes. Ultimately, he fights Nora. Nora throws him through a wall, primarily because Nora has electric enhanced. Well, her powers are based on electricity, and Hazel tried to use electric dust to injure her, which is about the equivalent of hugging a shark and expecting not to get bitten, or something like that. It's a terrible analogy. But in either case, at this point, Blake and the all the citizens who joined the Belladonnas and Sun arrive to save the day, and the bombs are disarmed, but Ilya and Adam's plans fall to pieces. Meanwhile, in the vault, Cinder and Raven have the most epic fight that we have seen in a long time for RWBY, and it's a big treat to watch. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend watching it right now. In fact, hit the pause, open up a new tab, go watch episode 13, season 5 of RWBY. You will not be disappointed. Ultimately, in the end, however, Raven beats Cinder. Again, spoilers. And I think Cinder's dead, by the way. Cinder's eye stops glowing as she's falling, and before she is encased in ice by Raven. Nice touch. Which suggests that we may have a new Fall Maiden somewhere. We don't know where yet, but that's another discussion. Also, another reason why it's possible, a good reason to argue that Cinder is dead, is that the music, as Raven and Cinder are fighting, implies that one of them is not going away alive. At the end, Raven plans to open the vault, and then Yang shows up to stop her, and that's how episode 13 ends. Now, again, we're going to talk about episode 14. These will probably have more spoilers, since you may not have had a chance to see it at all. In either case, you have been warned. Well, basically it's wrapping up stuff. Adam's forces are defeated, though he himself escapes. Lionheart tries to escape after being stopped by RWBY, and he basically runs away in fear. He's confronted by the Jellyfish Grim with Salem, or on account of Salem, and is killed, from what we can tell off-screen, by Salem's jellyfish, which makes that jellyfish extra scary. Not only is it a communication device, but it is a dangerous telephone that can kill you. Yang and Raven have probably the best discussion, I think. It kind of culminates what we kind of thought was going to happen, or we got the impression that Yang was over her mom, and now Yang is showing really who she is as a character. She basically tells Yang basically tells Raven that you're going to give me the relic, and the reason why is because you are afraid of Salem, and Salem's going to come after you. She's already going to probably come after you if you are a maiden. You're seen as a threat. Now, if you have a relic, Salem wants that relic. She will do anything to take it away from you. You are not going to be able to hide. And Raven ultimately concedes this. And you can tell Raven's very broken, because she realizes she has a chance to look herself in the mirror and realize who she really has been and who she is. And it's a heartbreaking scene in some ways, but you finally get it through Raven's thick skull that the ends don't justify the means. By the way, Raven is not the Spring Maiden for any normal reason. The Spring Maiden indeed did run away from the school, and she trusted Raven. And Raven, ultimately, after being unable to give her enough courage and grit, I guess, or whatever, killed her. Or had her killed, and then the Spring Maiden's powers transferred to her. So yeah, Raven is still pretty brutal and psychopathic. Or was even then. But now she's looking in the mirror from it, so that's a deep moment, at least for this show. Yang gets the relic and then heads back up. Emerald, Mercury, and Hazel are kind of banking on Cinder coming back with the relic and then churning the tide as the fight has gone sour for them. Of course, Yang pops up instead. Emerald, realizing that Cinder must be dead because Cinder doesn't take any prisoners apparently, or something like that. Her semblance kicks in and she's able to fool everybody into thinking that Salem is there. No one has actually seen Salem except for Ozpin, and maybe Crow, but at least Ozpin. And then Hazel, Mercury, and Emerald escape. In either case, the episode ends ultimately with two things. One, Team RWBY is back. They're all hugging each other, and they're able to repair, or starting to repair, any hurt between them. And while that's happening, Oscar tells Crow that we need to take the relic over to Atlas. There is an after-credits scene where it sounds like Raven teleported to Tai Yang, because she does teleport from the cavern area, and flies away as a raven, a bird that is. And that's how the season ends. So what did I think about this? You might be asking. Well, maybe not asking this. You already know that I was going to talk about it, though. So, here you are. First, I think on the whole the season was good. I liked a lot of the character development. I liked a lot of the thought process put into it. The animation was good. Discussions. There were some parts that sometimes I felt like the dialogue was a little cheesy. Ruby's line to Raven about teaming up sounded a little canned. I mean, I understand she's still kind of like a little girl, so maybe that was the idea, but I don't know. It was a little kind of like, okay, well, alright, yeah, we get it, we get it. You know, friends can overcome anything sort of line, but whatever the case being. On the whole, I liked it. I won't say too much, but I would say one thing that they didn't do a lot of was a lot of fights. And while I'm not denying that fights are certainly important, I mean, that's kind of how that's how the first episode basically starts of the entire series. At the same time, you need to have dialogue and storytelling to develop characters and not just turn it into, just explosions that happen to have some random comment put in. But I think they may have overemphasized on the dialogue. And I would say seasons 4 and 5 had this weakness where there was maybe too much exposition, too much repeated exposition, I should say, where sometimes something was stated and then it was repeated again, and it was like a detail that really didn't change a whole lot, but it was just, okay, someone else has to find out about this, so we'll have another 3 minutes discussing this, when it's like, well, no information is added, no one asked a different question, nothing like that. So Season 4 and Season 5 had this problem a little bit, but I am appreciative that they did go to 14 episodes, because I think that helped fill out some things that Season 4 was not doing as well. I did like, in many ways, how certain things were resolved. There's a lot of interesting ethical or discussion points and inclinations, but I'll bring up a couple real quick here so I don't run out of time. One, Lionheart has at least a couple times where it looks like he could redeem himself. He could become brave and do the right thing, even though it hurts. And ultimately, he plans to try to capture Oscar and bring him to Salem. That, like, he says that, and you just can tell he is just gone. And it's so sad. And ultimately, he is killed by Salem, in fact. The other thing that's interesting, and I'm grateful for, is that a lot of things that we were worried about, like the Belladonna's dying, did not happen. Brady and I actually had some concerns that Crow would die, did not happen. Ultimately, I would say this season was good. I'm very excited for Season 6, but I see that I'm out of time. Let us know what you thought. Please comment and subscribe. It would be really helpful. My name is Josh. Thank you for watching. This has been The Storm Crow Show.